Right, that's the top of the hour. So, let's get into it. So, this week we are playing PowerWash Simulator, specifically the new Midgar expansion. Or expansion, extra levels, I'm not sure what to call it. I have done everything else in this game so far, or I say that, I haven't done a lot of challenge mode stuff, just because I'm not that interested in it, but the game in general is amazing, right? So these new levels were added, I don't know, I think yesterday, maybe the day before. When I saw that, I just knew that I had to stream it. There'll probably have to be a bit of sound balancing to happen. It seems like there is no sound on the menus. I do have the music turned up as high as it'll go, so we'll see if that's actually too loud. Let's get started. I should also note, I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, so I don't know any of the references. Ooh, huge snowstorm, eh? Make sure you stay safe. Would not be good to have problems. Okay, so on behalf of everyone at Shinra Electric Power Company, I'd like to welcome you to Midgar. It could not have been easy to come all the way out here, so your presence is much appreciated. To raise our population's morale, we are opening an exhibition to celebrate the long and varied history of our fair city's motor industry. Two of its key pieces, however, have emerged from storage in, let's just say, less than pristine condition. If they're to take centre stage at the exhibition, they must be spotless, and that requires the attention of someone who understands the full meaning of that word, none other than you. Thunder, lightning, and blizzard-like conditions. God, that... When I think of snowstorm, I don't have snow here, right? It doesn't exist. So when I think of the words snowstorm, all I really think of are just lots of snow. Also, I'm not hearing any music. Let's pull up. Is it going to be this? This? Okay, that's got ambience going. I have no clue about... Okay, that's rather loud. So UI volume down to here, water probably there. Okay, that's probably fine. Oh, good God. I have a controller plugged into my computer even though I'm not using it, and it was getting vibrations from the water, from spraying the water. So that was just vibrating my desk. The worst rainstorm you've ever been in. That would be impressive, considering the worst rainstorm I've been in was extremely destructive. It had very high wind power, and it was basically a situation of the wind is coming from the west, so you stay on the east side of the house, because this wind could just smash something through your window and kill you if you were on the western side of the house. New to Midgar, allow me to say a few words of introduction. Taking a while. I am the Director of Urban Planning, responsible for the design of the entire city, including its heart, the Shinra building, in which you are currently working. Okay. So, this game is very much just do whatever you like. There are efficient ways to do things, but if you care about that, then you're doing it wrong. 2 times less bad. The game is twice as loud as I am. Really? Okay. Let's just take master volume probably down to there. So that should be better, right? Hopefully. Yeah, so there are all sorts of ways to play PowerWash Simulator, and like, I'm sure you know. Right, the 2 times was the storm, was the storm thing. I got that mixed up. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar enough with this player, though I'll still explain things for other people who may watch the VOD later on. Our organisation, run by the lauded President Shinra, is split into 5 divisions: urban planning, space and air. That went by. Hang on. 5 divisions: urban planning, space and aeronautics, advanced weaponry, research and development, and public security. Void then, yeah. I can never keep up with your name changes. Yeah, so even though you're familiar with the game, I will explain things for others who may show up or may watch the VODs later on. This game really just gives you your tools and says, go play. You can do things how you want, at the pace you want. Some people would probably start with one side of of whatever they're cleaning, or they may focus on individual pieces. What I tend to do is just walk around things and just keep spraying them all over. You can see that I'm twitching the mouse back and forth a lot. Be very thankful that the developers implemented the free aim system a while back, because if I wasn't using that, it would be horrible to look at. I expect either Heidegger of Public Security or Professor Hojo of Research and Development to call upon your services at some point as well. Okay. As head of public security, Heidegger commands the city's military, while Hojo concerns himself with pushing the boundaries of science. Due to the highly secretive nature of their jobs, as well as their eccentric personalities, I recommend not making any ripples, let alone waves, when working for them. Alright then. Yeah, so yes, this game is kind of like Viscera Cleanups Detail, but with a lot less violence and gore. A lot less. You might enjoy having things be horrible to look at, Void, but many others would disagree, I think. So yeah, my cleaning style for this game is very inconsistent. Like, you've probably noticed that I've washed partially some things and then just kept moving, just because I don't sit still for long. That's not what well, no. I sit still for long, but I don't keep doing the same thing for a long time. So I'll just keep going around finding new things to work on. Yeah. Onto the vehicles themselves. Yes. Being very slow with this. The motorcycle is a hardy Daytona, highly maneuverable and powered by our company's first V-type DOHC engine. This engine is the same as those used in small aircraft, so it does 0 to 60 in "I see we've already arrived." Gotta get into all the nooks and crannies. What? Okay, I apparently cleaned the wheel on the other side of the car by accident. There we go. I'm not even realizing what I'm cleaning here. I'm just spraying. Yeah, I have a strong tendency to use the yellow head nozzle. I find that it just does the work best for me. Good. All the things are happening. Everything is getting clean. There are a wide variety of widths that you can use, by which I mean there are 4, though there are also soaps. I don't have any soaps because I don't bother using them. A small head which does a sort of spiral, so that's for so the small head is for the toughest like grots that you can't get out, and the bit of spinning just gives it more reach. And there's also the hilarious triple-headed single point 0 degree, which I find hilarious. You can also change the extensions that you have. So, as you can see, this is a lot more of a narrow result than this, purely because it was that much closer, right? That is ideal for... Okay, so the closer you are to something, the more powerful your cleaning is, right? Because you've still got more pressure that hasn't been lost yet. There's still something that I haven't... There we go. So those extra extended ranges let you have that extra reach for something that's far away or hard to access, and that gives you the... Oh my god. Oh, all the dings. This game is just such a good thing for happy feelings. Just constant dings of affirmation. But yeah, so when something's far away and hard to reach, you can use the extensions. Often enough, I will use, even when I can get right up on something, I'll use something like the short extension. because that leaves me with some extra width to my hose, but it lets me clean things off in a couple of quick sweeps rather than having to go over them multiple times to get all the different gaps and spots. Because this is all coming off very easily here. I might even be able to... Oh yes, this comes off very easily. Even the Whitehead does this. Shinra Hauler is a classic all-purpose vehicle that has always been an integral part of city life. While it may look clunky and unstable with its unusual three-wheel design, I assure you its appearance belies its true power. Okay. Yeah, so... On an open freeway, the hauler could theoretically keep pace with the hardy Daytona. Okay. Is that all? Yes. So, different dirt has different durability, let's call it. And that means you either have to go over it more often, or more times, or you have to use a more powerful spray. So, adding width to your to the nozzle means you lose pressure. Being at a further distance means you lose more pressure. Keeping that pressure up high is achieved by using a narrower nozzle, or by being closer, or using extensions, right? In this case, we're only seeing very weak dust, basically, we're getting. And that allows us to basically just quickly spray over it with a wide nozzle if we don't need a lot of pressure. If there were rust and such, then it would need a much stronger power wash to get rid of it, right? This is actually going pretty well, though I'm still just spraying everything and seeing what happens at this stage. This bike does look good. I feel like just having the engine just open like this feels problematic. Like I just imagine it would cause accidents. So there is a system where once there are only, I think it's 3 or 4 different names of pieces that haven't been cleaned, then it pops up a little thing on the side telling you what hasn't been cleaned. I can also just access my menu here and see the bike front wheel guard is only 97% clean. If I select it, it starts flashing like this. There we go. So that's extremely useful. There's a kickstand in here somewhere. Where is the kickstand? Oh, down there. How are you meant to access this kickstand? That's not something you can kick. That's something you have to press a button for. So you do sort of get to a point in this game where you do start having to specifically check and hunt down things that haven't been cleaned yet. You can also... It won't really work right now because there's nothing to find. Okay, so that's the bike done. It'll all be on the hauler now. Did I highlight that? I did. Cab door frame. I don't even know what the cab door frame would be. Oh, this part here. So you'll notice around here bits flash orange when I push the tab button. Tab highlights dirt and such that's still yet to be cleaned. Though even with that it can be hard to notice, just because it can be very small, right? Door handles. What's this in? Hello? There we go. Okay, so cooler, headlight, wheel, and wing mirror. Okay. So another thing to point out. So you can see in the top left, we have the total cleaning. I just pointed with my hand. Okay. So you can see in the top left, we've got the total amount cleaned. And when I hover over things, you'll also see the name of the part, a bar which shows how clean it is. So the white is the amount of dirt left to be cleaned, and the material type that you're pointing at. Material type is important for soaps, cleaning liquids. That's because they come in specific materials, or for specific materials. That okay, so the wheel is the interior part and the tire is the exterior. So you can get multi-purpose soap, but more likely you would have specific material soaps. And that's the first job done. Yeah, and here we have, you can't see that. And you never will. I will never have a camera. So, I've probably missed some things for people who don't know the game well, but that's fine. Hand cam, I don't think so. Just get a little corner of the screen showing a camera's view of my screen so that I can gesture to the screen and show you things. That would be elaborate and stupid. But yeah, I've probably missed some things in my explanations, but it'll be fine. The one thing I wanted to say and didn't finish saying, I don't use soaps or the cleaning fluids, because they are a limited resource that you have to buy, and like I've bought everything in this game. I'm not short on funds for it, right? But I just don't like I don't like having to purchase refills, and they just don't seem to do that much. Like I'm sure if you use them right, they can, but it just doesn't feel that great. You spray them on something and it covers a huge area, and it does 75% of the work. And then you have to go over it again, and the stuff that's been left is the stuff that needs the highest pressure. So you might as well have just gone over it with the high pressure in the first place, right? It's just not amazing. Like, I admit, maybe I'm using them wrong, but I just don't like them, and I can see Void agrees with me. So that's gratifying. So, let's see. Your dedication to your craft is everything we'd heard it was. So much so, we're moving these two exhibits to the atrium. God, I'm stumbling over my words today. You have our deepest gratitude. Before I forget, after hearing my assessment of your work, Heidegger, Director of Public Security, insisted on contracting you for his own division. While he does have a tendency to come off as rough around the edges, I assure you it's a byproduct of his passion and military background. That said, his style does not mesh with everyone, so if it doesn't mesh with yours, tread lightly. Yes, this request is vastly different from our first, but think of it as proof of our trust in you. After all, we wouldn't bring someone of your caliber all this way just to wash down a few sets of dirty wheels. Oh boy! We're into the mech. Okay. The Scorpion Sentinel. Reeve tells me you're quite the shot. Shame those skills are wasted on cleaning up literal filth instead of enemies of the state, but no matter. As head of public security, my job is to keep the city safe, and one of the most effective ways to do that is through the deployment of devastating weaponry. Oh, that's a mindset. My Scorpion Sentinel can snuff out insurgents before they can even start reaching for their white flag. But Professor Hojo thinks his test subjects could quell riots better than a heavy weapons platform. Reading comprehension 0. To prove just how wrong he is, I proposed a challenge for him. If one of his juiced up lab rats could even scratch my Sentinel, I'd volunteer to be his next test subject. I have no doubt my machine stood the test against his mule environments, but I still need the Sentinel washed down. After all, isn't that what his beloved scientific process calls for? Evidence? Alright then. Oh boy, it's a big un. Do not exceed weight limit. If this thing's on there, what's the weight limit? I have no clue. They've got some nice environmental design, and they've... Actually, hang on. So, we were introduced to 3 of the tools here. Oh, I can't put it here. Rude. We're introduced to 3 of the tools here, or reintroduced. There's the step ladder, gives you just a little bit of extra height. There's the ladder. You can only put it in specific places, but it gets you a lot of height. And there's the scaffolding, which you just can climb. It gets you up nice and high. So they've put a little bit of work into the surrounding environment, but that is not the focus. Why is it moving? Stop that. Oh, I can't even reach it from here. Okay, so we get a demonstration. Oh. Behold the Scorpion Sentinel, one of Shinra's greatest achievements in military robotics. Okay. Your identity has already been stored in its database as a non-target, so stop worrying about getting shot at and start scrubbing. Okay, good to know. You're quite safe. For now. Great. Yeah, so we saw just before that I did not have the range to actually spray this thing from here, right? So that's one of the uses of, and probably the main use of, the extensions, right? Gives me that extra bit of reach. And I could just get closer, sure, but if I'm at more of a distance, then I can make much smaller movements with my mouse, and the extra turn of the extra turning of the nozzle covers a lot more ground. What's been said? Kind of looks like a ruined thingy in Genshin. Yeah, a little. It's vaguely, I guess. Gravity minus rate. Huh. Okay, so the Ray's arm showed up because I'm looking at this arm, I guess. So that gives me different angles to wash, and maybe it will be in the way of some things. So moving the arms will probably just let me get access to things to clean more easily. Also, because there's a lot of grime, I can show you the dirt sense. Just flashes everything orange where it's dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. So I can just stand up here and spray everything that I can see. I apparently cleaned something, but it was an abdomen bolt, but I don't even know what that is. So I could just stay up here and spray, but I think I wanna... I'll still use a short nozzle, I think. I want to get down low and get cleaning into all the nooks and crannies. So a big thing like this, I might actually go for cleaning. If you're available, I have a job for you in the Sector 7 Undercity. Okay, that's from Tifa. I know you're eager to know more about the Sentinel's myriad capabilities. Are you going to tell me? The tail is far deadlier than that of the creature it is modelled after, and its 6 tapered legs let it get straight to the point, if you will. Okay. As for those craven foes who want to shoot the Scorpion at a distance, it has Mark 98 cannons and Mark 99 launchers. I don't know what any of that means. But I assume it's good. I assume it's powerful. So let's get this arm... Yeah, so lowering it like that gives me a bit more of a... an angle on it. So yeah, as I was saying, for something big like this, I'll probably try and focus on specific parts. So like, let's take off that nozzle so that I've got a bit more close aim. I'll probably like focus on the arm first and then move to different spots. Let me up. Damn it. Okay, fine, I'll get the ladder. The ladder isn't going to help. The ladder is not going to help. Oh, the ladder might help. It's helping some. Dirty, filthy robots. Yes, yes. It'd be funny if he... yes, I'm sure you would like to know more, and says nothing further. Some of this texturing... Do I have my textures turned down a bunch? Because some of this texturing is really rough, and I don't know if that's just what it is, or if my texturing is turned right down. Let's actually check the options. Graphics. Oh yes, I have it on though. My computer is good, but I do tend to turn graphics and such down to the lower settings. That is purely because it is summer here right now, and I need to stay cool as much as possible, right? But a computer that is doing a lot of high intensity graphics stuff, it's going to pump out a lot of heat. So to prevent that, I reduce the graphics intensity and shadow qualities and such as much as I can with every game. Saves me a bit of trouble and discomfort. God damn it, I can tell there's... Oops. I can tell that there's more dirt up in that hand. Okay, I think... I saw a flicker there. The cannon is still dirty. I've got to work out where. Also, that. Okay, that's one part cleaned. It's all in there. Awkward angles. Casing. Let's see if that might be a bit too close. See if this can get me the extra height I need to check the inside there. That's another part. I do not see anything else on this arm, even though it shows me in the top left there that this cannon casing is not clean. But I don't know where it's not clean. This? No. Let me get... Let's actually go with no nozzle, more extension. And the up. Aha! So I've probably missed some pieces inside this arm. Almost certain. But at some point you've just got to accept it. And come back to it once you've cleaned most of the stuff. You've also probably noticed, even though I've not said anything about it, that I can crouch and go prone. Gives me a couple of extra angles to work from. It really is just extra angles to work from, right? You're a little bit slower, I think, but that doesn't matter at all. It's just for when you need to lower your perspective so you can get under a lip or such. This is going decently though. So for those who aren't familiar with this game, it's not a quick game. Like some of the maps will take hours, but if you don't have the time available for that, you can save and quit at any point and come back to it whenever you do have time, so you can clean a place in multiple sittings. Get in there. I see that in there. Yes, hello. I'm seeing little sparks of orange. on little nooks and crannies, and I want to get it. I hate. I saw that. And I can become somewhat obsessive, which isn't good, but thankfully the game, every piece has a point where it will be deemed as clean, even if it's not 100% clean, and at that point anything you've missed just automatically gets cleaned. Typically it's at the stage where you have basically found everything and all that's left is little near invisible specks. Don't fall off, damn it. Let's bring in... Go. Bring the scaffolding around so that I can get up there again. Let me up. Let me up. Also of note, if you're looking downward, you move slower, which can interrupt your jumps if you're looking down to where you're going, but also it basically lets you walk. So if you have a large surface area of ground that you need to clean, you can sort of just look down enough to slow yourself down to the right pace, where you can do one walk, you can just walk and clean over the area that you pass over, right? And then you just walk back and forth, running strips. I really should add a work command, huh? I'll work out what would fit at some point. Oh, these parts are going to be a hassle to clean. It's got all sorts of little furrows. Furrows and edges and all sorts of problems. You can already see that I cannot just focus on one thing for too long, right? I started on that other arm and immediately got distracted by the tail. Oh, this is all going to be horrible. Up here to get at the back. But you think we'd stop there? Of course not. I don't even remember what you're talking about. The weapons, I think. We also outfitted it with a close-range EM field and a self-repair functionality. With this bevy of features, it's nigh unstoppable. Cool. So long as it doesn't fight me, I don't care. You'll notice sometimes that my character pulls the PowerWash thing in. That's when I'm too close to something and the nozzle would collide with the object. Basically guarantees that I can't spray through things. Oh, good God. Everything must go. Eradicate the filth. Yeah, so PowerWash Simulator is an amazing game if you want to just zone out and do things. Like you don't have to worry about precise timing for anything. No quick time events or anything. You don't have to worry about enemies causing problems. All you've really got to do is just clean, and you've got as much time as you need, so long as you're not doing any challenges. So it's a really good game to just zone out on, or you can also get your friends in. Levels have different numbers of player caps, I think, or it might be that the first time you play through a level, you get you can have 2 players, and once you're in free play, you can have up to 6, I think. So it's a good option for a game that you can have going with your friends, where you can just chat. Like, you don't have to worry about talking strategy or anything like that. You don't have to worry about making sure that you're keeping up with the team or anything. You can just hang out and chat while you all blast dirt off stuff. It's cathartic. Of course, I feel like if anyone who had... I can't think of the word. Anyone who got obsessive over the cleaning would probably have big problems with me, considering I do the majority of stuff just in broad sweeps and then walk off. It would not win me any friends, I think. Or maybe it would win me friends. Maybe they would like being able to just follow after me and finish everything off. Get all those dings. Who knows? It's all down to the individual, really. Though, I think I'm going to regret my own actions sooner or later once I start trying to work out what's not being cleaned and realise it's everything, just a little bit. So long as... Oh god, what's not being cleaned on this? In there? Oh dear, there is a lot on this machine, on this leg. Moments like this where I'm thankful for the auto-completion thing, because getting into all the little corners would just be hell. It would require suffering. We've received reports of gang activity in the Sector 5 Undercity, most likely Don Corneo's lackeys. I feel like that would mean something to people who played the game. I briefly considered deploying the Scorpion against them, but realised they are the definition of small fry. It would be a waste of company resources to eliminate them. A much more fitting target would be those eco-terrorists that go by the name Avalanche. Okay. Sure. If they want to poke the bear, they had best be ready to deal with its claws. Right. I assume Avalanche is the main characters squad in Final Fantasy VII. Okay, like I know enough to know that Shinra is the enemy force in Final Fantasy VII. But that's about all I know. So, I just have to make guesses, basically. Educated guesses, but guesses nonetheless. That was a nice little collection of dings. Have to make sure you get things from every side. There are always just little spots that can escape attention. I will get back to these legs. I will get back to everything eventually. Just got to get what I do. I have to do things my way. Mostly because there is no other way for me. It is not efficient, it is not special, it's just I do as I do. So I think that's this leg done. Yeah, okay. On to the next. Yes, so as much as PowerWash Simulator is great for hanging out with friends and just chatting, the counterpart to that is streaming the game solo doesn't feed you a lot of conversation topics. So I will be the first to admit that I'm not like some amazing streamer, right? I am new to this, I'm inexperienced, and I'm just generally not great at talking. So if I play this and don't have all the extra conversation topics of a game, I'm probably going to have quite a few more moments where I fall silent. I think that's alright. Like, I'm not entirely failing to talk. It's just that there are moments where I'm more thoughtful rather than verbal. And that's not always a bad thing, right? There's always going to be someone who can do it better and someone who can do it worse, so I can be satisfied with talking as much as I talk. I think that's that leg done. It looks like it. Okay. Also, I know, yes, if you're doing this sort of, like, if you're power washing stuff, or generally just washing stuff in real life, you want to start from the top. As you clean, dirt and grime will run down the surface, so you want to start at the top and clean downward. I don't do that in this. I start wherever I start, and that's usually at the bottom. Started at the bottom, now we're here. Hey? I don't even know what that's a reference to. I feel like it's a song, but I have no clue, really. But yeah, so it's a video game, so you don't have to worry about if you wash something up high, it will spread dirt down onto the lower surfaces. It just doesn't happen, so you're safe. You can do whatever you want in whatever order you want. It's very chill and calm. I should probably stream Hard Space at some point. Hard Space is sort of vaguely similar in that it's about deconstructing spaceships in space. It can be a lot more pressured. It can have time limits and oxygen limits and all sorts of things like that. When I play it, don't use those sorts of limits. So I think fuel is the only limit I play with, purely because when I played, there wasn't an option to disable that. There's still more on the lower joint. But it's definitely more stressful than this, because there are actual risks to it. Things you should do in certain orders, problems that can arise, all sorts of stuff like that. But if you know what you're doing, if you're playing without the time limits, it can be a very fun and relaxing game as well. Just don't screw up. Let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, so Hard Space Shipbreaker, just don't screw up, because if you screw up, everything explodes, and you're going to be very sad. This doesn't have explosions. I imagine Reeve fed you some feel-good tripe about his plans for the future, didn't he? Not really. Not that I remember. He sees the world through rose-coloured glasses, but what he doesn't realise is those lenses are coated with the blood of our adversaries. After all, that went by quickly. After all, our company began as a weapons manufacturer for a reason. Okay, sure. I'm stuck on the ladder. What was I... Yeah, so yeah, I think at some point I'll probably stream Shipbreaker. It's a fun one, it's a change of pace from action things, but it's still got enough detail to be worth watching, I think. Well, at the very least, I am able to watch it and enjoy it. I don't know if I'm weird for that. I play games and enjoy them, but equally I enjoy watching people play them. Like it's as fun for me to watch someone else experience something as it is to experience it myself. So all sorts of and that includes games that I have played already. I'm not one to replay games often. Some games that have a lot of variety to their content I can replay, but others I won't. I play a lot of puzzle games, and puzzle games don't really get replayability, right? But even outside of puzzle games, the only games that I really replay are roguelikes, and I mean, a roguelike is the definition of replayable, right? It's made to be replayed. Because it gives you a new experience every time, right? But some people can replay RPGs over and over. Games like Skyrim or Oblivion. Is that dirt or just water? It's just water. I have replayed Skyrim a couple of times, but even that, it has sort of reached limits for me where I'm not all that engaged in it after a little bit, because it's not new. So I don't tend to replay things, right? But at the same time, I will watch people play something for the first time, even if I've already played it. Even if it's a puzzle game, for example, I can know all of the solutions and everything, and I don't mind. I'm comfortable with watching someone learn the game at their own pace, and I can enjoy watching them do that. Because I get to see their thought process, I get to understand more about them through how they think about things, how they interact with things and learn things. Where was the... There it is. So all that sort of stuff can really appeal to me. And I don't know if that's common or not. I mean, the people watch like Let's Playing and stuff. It's a successful entertainment media, right? Or medium. So surely plenty of people do enjoy watching Let's Plays. But I don't know if that's mostly people who can't play a game or wouldn't enjoy playing a game themselves, or if it's more just the experience of seeing other people experience something that you have and seeing how they differ from you. God, I feel like I've missed a lot of spots on this. Well, it's going decently. I suppose that's part of what would make Let's Play content so engaging for people, though, right? It's that you can share your experience, sort of. For people watching, you get to share someone else's experience of a thing that you know well, but it's... I don't really know how to put it into words. For those making the content, interaction sort of ends with text on the screen for the most part. Streamers have their chat, Let's Players have their comments, but I feel like there's still some connection in there, right? And I think that's what stands out to most people. I don't even know if anything I've been saying lately has been coherent. I've sort of just been rambling. But, I mean, I'm not concerned about it, I guess. If I'm rambling, that means I've probably got some line of consciousness that I'm following without really thinking about it too deeply, right? I hate this tail. This tail just has so many little angles. It's awful. Absolutely evil. Bring this around. Oh god, that's it. No wonder it wasn't letting me. Let's pull it back a little bit more. Okay. This gives me some better angles. Lovely, lovely dings. Let's just go for a short extension here. Okay, and up to the top. Even from here there are spots I can't get good angles on. I'm going to have to actually jump over there, I think. Oh. This'll work. This is fine. This thing's not clean yet. Looks like all of this top section is, so I just need to find there. So I'm just scanning along the tail now. Looks like all the casing and bellow parts are clean. So probably just this arm needs cleaning now. Of course, I say that, but we're going to eventually get through the arm and realise there's one piece somewhere else that I've missed. Everything around that piece will be clean, but that piece will be filthy. That's just the way of things, really. And it'll be on a leg too, I bet. I will have spent all that time carefully going over the legs, and it'll just be, oh yeah, there's this one piece on one of the legs. Just somewhere that I messed up. Get me the extra long. Damned claws. these little spots. I can see so much in there. Bring me the step ladder. Step stool. Did I fall off that? I think I did. Okay, I think I got all those little spots in there. Oh. The Chaotic Mac. Thank you very much for the follow. Good to have you with us. You are catching us at a bit of a downtime at the moment, just letting my voice rest because I'm sort of focusing on trying to spot all the little patches that I haven't cleaned yet. And that is taking far too much of my brain power. There. This casing here is... Gotta get up higher. It's probably inside the back here, right? No? Oh, there's some there. Let's get into the stubby. It's kind of weird to refer to that as the stubby, just because to my brain from my culture, a stubby is a beer, so that just throws me off. What am I missing? The shoulder. The shoulder and... Oh, I got that piece. Okay. Underneath that plating, eh? That's a bit of an irritating angle. Let me up. Let me up. Damn it. Just... No. Okay. Ladder it is. I really can't tell where this shoulder is dirty. Ha! On the inside. Headlight, fan belt, and front wheel hood. I didn't realise this thing had a headlight. Here it is. Is that... No? I'm just seeing leg gripper when I'm abducting. Okay, so I'm seeing through this light, so apparently this isn't the headlight. Oh. I saw... Yep, there we go, that's the casing. So, headlight and fan belt. Okay, I'm going to need to actually highlight these, I think. Oh, that's the headlight. It makes sense, the headlight is... That's not even the head, that's the torso. That's the head there. And the fan belt. Where is fan belt? Oh. There. There we go. Ooh. That one took a little bit. But I'd say we're doing pretty well. We've finished 2 cleans in just an hour, so it's not too bad. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha, you found me. As I suspected, not even a fleck of paint out of place. I couldn't ask for a better condition in which to present this to Hojo. Perhaps that smug hack needs to spend more time ensuring his specimen's combat capabilities and less turning them into macabre monstrosities. Either way, I shall relish the look on his face when I break the news. Oh dear God. Oh God. Okay, hang on. Water break. Everyone out there should remember to hydrate as well. Okay. We've been having lots of trouble with Don Corneo and his grunts for a while, but last night took it to a whole other level. They stormed into Seventh Heaven unannounced, ordered the entire menu twice over, and proceeded to spill it on every possible surface. I would have beat the snot out of every one of those thugs right then and there, but then we'd have a lot more trouble on our hands than a few small-time gangsters. Anyway, my friend's daughter, Marlene, has been hanging out here a lot, so I want the place squeaky clean for her. I'd do it myself, but it's almost 0 hour on a job I've got over in Sector 1, so I need the speed of a pro. I'd really appreciate it if you could get the bar looking good as new. Alright. This one could take a while. It's going to be a lot. Oh yes. Oh yes, this... Why do I have the ladder? Why do I have the ladder? I can't go up anywhere. I guess it's just to get up on top of the pipes, maybe? Well, let's get started with it. It's so upsetting to see the bar looking like this. Yeah, I can imagine. I know it's not the fanciest, but it's like home to us and our regulars. A place for people to get homemade food and escape the daily grind. That's nice. First step will be the entrance. And there we go. This... Okay, some of this stuff really is ingrained into it, right? So that might take a bit. But it will be fine. I should also note, if I'm close to finishing a map once time to end stream comes around, I will finish it, but if I'm like nowhere near, then I probably won't, because honestly, big levels in this game can take hours, and I'm not going to like guarantee that I'll finish whatever I'm doing if that could mean going hours over time on the stream. That just seems like a bad idea. And this is where we need the ladder. Let me up here so that I can get an angle. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, I want to say that it isn't let's start that again. I want to say that it isn't seeming too bad to actually get through this. Like, I've already got just about one of the walls done, right? but at the same time I know that there is a lot of stuff and furniture that I will have to clean, and that's going to add a whole lot more to do. There's that. This barrel is in the way. Problematic. There we go. On up here, let's get the little space behind. Lovely. Thankfully, the back of the barrel is not dirty. Yeah, so I've got one wall done, and it felt like it went quickly, but I know that if I turn around, I will be devastated by realizing how much there is to do. Oh god, there's stuff on the floor back there. There we go. Now that lower box still needs something, but I don't actually see... Oh, that's obvious. Just get down underneath the lip there. Okay. Let's just clear this up to give myself a sort of mark of what I'm working on. When you have work to do, best thing is to break it up into manageable segments. That way you can feel a lot more confident about it, and it feels like it goes a lot better. If you're trying to do everything all at once, you will just stress yourself out, feeling like you're making no progress. Separate it into the smaller tasks, and you can clearly tell yourself, I have achieved X. That's a general way of life, basically. I give that advice, but I'm bad at following it. I try to get everything done immediately. Okay, I just don't do very well at separating tasks. Like, you can see, I started with the walls, I was doing the walls, but now I'm looking at all these pipes, and I'm not even going to be getting the tops of the pipes, I think. I'm just going to be following them along, doing the bottom of the pipe. There we go. And then do the same going back the other direction, because there are little loops on it that will have been blocking me. I should probably get the top of that pipe though. If I don't, it's just going to confuse me later. Okay. How much can I... Not a lot of clearance to try... Come on, get up. No, up. I'm going to have to get this from the sides, from both sides, I think. I would have loved to punch those goons right in their dumb faces. Probably wouldn't even have needed any materia. Speaking of which, you do know about materia and marker. right? Not at all. I'm not a Final Fantasy person. Marco's the lifeblood of our planet, and every living thing on it. That's nice. The ancients thankfully learned how to crystallize it, and that's what we call materia. I feel like crystallizing the lifeblood of your planet isn't the best thing to do. You're just gonna wear it out that way. Stay. There we go, got that pipe. Lovely. Okay, I'll get the other one as well. I say that as if someone is demanding it of me, but... well, someone is. That someone is me. Gimme those dings. There we go. Lovely, back to the walls. Just all over the place. Absolutely all over. There we go. That's the next mark-off point. I will tell you what though, there is nothing the power washing can do for missing wallpaper or plaster or whatever it is. It's probably plastering, considering the cracks. Double ding. They will have to find their own solution to the missing plaster. Come on. Gotta be close to getting that. There we go. Tomato! What? Why would they have just a painting like that just says tomato? Why? Who wants that? Like there's nothing wrong with tomatoes, but why have an image of it? Oh, I'm up on the sword right now. Okay. Oh dear. Progress actually isn't too bad in this. I thought initially that this map would take a long time, but I am more than a quarter through it now, so that's nice progress. It's going quicker than I expected. I fully expected that this may be the last one we would have time for on the stream, but who knows, maybe it won't. We've got a good hour and a half. Ding. God, this wall section goes all the way across, huh? Stay up on the counter so I've got a good angle on it. What? Eggs and chips? What? What? Eggs and chips? That's kind of disturbing. That's an alarming combination. God. You've got to love when you hit the show dirt button and just everything turns orange. You don't. You do not have to love it. In fact, you hate it most of the time. But it's hilarious to see where it's just the world is dirty. Spray the TV, surely it will be fine. Gotta get down low to get under the lip there. How does the sword get so horrible too? Surely that sword wouldn't have been left out while the customers were around, right? Surely. Stool. Yes, thank you. The floor is going to be a lot of work in this one, I think. Any map where the floor is something that needs to be cleaned, it takes a lot of work. And so that's all that done. Can I turn the radio on? No. There is a music slider in the audio options, and I have it at maximum, but I do not hear any music. I never have. Kind of sad. I like to have background music for this sort of thing, but since I'm streaming, I can't just go and play any sort of music. And I thought there would be music. It's been a while since I played PowerWash Simulator. I thought it would have music. Listen, I don't know what you've heard, but Shinra is not as kind and selfless as it paints itself. I don't know if it really painted itself to be that at all. It was very militaristic. The Marco energy they produce is made by draining the planet's lifeblood. Plus, the whole reason they provide it is to control the populace. Okay, but what sort of power supply people don't do that? If we allow them to keep harvesting it, we're assuring the planet's destruction. Someone has to do something about this, and Avalanche has decided that someone is us. Good to hear. I feel like how old is Final Fantasy VII? Because this seems like they were already like doing the whole "we're killing our planet with fossil fuels" thing, and people weren't really fully queuing into that for a while. Like, I know the knowledge of it's been around for a fair while, but Final Fantasy VII's real old, right? They surely did have that information. Like, we would have realised it before the game was made, right? That we were ruining the planet. Yeah. Cleanse the stools. Tops of them as well. Ding. Let's actually get the top of the bar right away so that I can just go along the bottom of it. Did I get this side? Yes. Let's get the tops of the stools. There we go. Gotta get the fronts of them as well, huh? There we go. I can really just flick it around everywhere and it works. Okay, so barrel. This radio still needs more. Let me stand up. There we go. Anything else back here? Trash can. Yes, I am just going to go around the edges and completely avoid the center as long as I can. I mean, I'm probably going to save the wall and the floor and ceiling until last. That's just how it's going to be. But once it's down to just those, it won't actually be that bad. I will have cleaned up everything else that can get in the way, so I can just work around it all. Find the angles. Da-ding. Almost halfway done with this. That's good progress. Get the door frame. Okay. I didn't get this frame. These tables are really going to get in the way of the wall. wanna clean the walls, let me be. Yeah, even the undersides of the tables are filthy. There is no escape from the filth. We have surpassed the halfway point. Gotta make sure I get the little frame thing. I don't understand why they have these beams sticking out. I guess it's just an aesthetic thing. But it is irritating because you can't just clean them from the ground level. Section. Lovely. I don't know what I cleaned. I was just moving and things dinged. All the dings. All the dings. Create joy. You happy dings become happy. I feel like I shouldn't be spraying water all over a microwave like that, but I'm doing it anyway. One thing that everything in this world needs is water. The signs in this place are wild. The pizza sign is fine. Eggs and chips is not. Tomato is weird. just tomato. Nothing special about it. Machine gun on the table belongs to a friend of mine, Barrett. I didn't even notice it. He's as big and hot-headed as a behemoth, but but he's got a heart of gold. He also cares about her planet more than anyone else I know. Barrett has a daughter, right? So of course he cares. The Buster Sword belongs to my childhood friend Cloud. He left to join Soldier when we were kids. Now he's out and helping us take on the company. Nice of them to give a rundown of the game like this for us. He might not show it, but if you clean up his Buster Sword too, I'm sure it should make his day. Right, I've already done that. And the floor is actually divvied up in this map. That's very nice to see. Endless cleaning. Okay, since the floor is actually split up, I should clean it first, I guess. And then go back out to the non-staff section. Okay. There we go. There's more. Is that everything in here? No. There we go. Ah, fine. I'll do the back room ceiling at least. There we go. Okay, so the ceiling is broken up by the beams. That's nice to see. I'll get to it later, though. Hang on. Elevator mechanism? I'm at 63% cleaned, so if that elevator actually functions, which it shouldn't, the area beyond will be very small. But I don't think... Well, I was going to say I don't think this game would have it function. But at the same time, they've had a functioning Ferris wheel and a functioning merry-go-round. So, you know, they probably could easily have an elevator. But if it's an actual thing, an actual zone, it'll probably be its own map. It's not very hidden though, is it? Like, they've got all of the mechanical parts just out in the open. Even the underside of the pinball machine. Ah. There we go. is no end to mess. Never an end. I might need to get the ladder over to get the last of that. Oh, I can probably... there we go. Got an angle. Hang on. What? Oh, it's the wall beam here that I'm seeing. Which is probably... yeah, I think it's the same beam as this. Yes, there we go. Those elevator sections took a bit more work, and even added a bit more work to cleaning the walls around them, but we managed. Played much pinball before. It's like I've played a bit, but at the same time it's just something you don't see that often, right? Oh, come on, what's left? There we go. Like you don't really see pinball outside of arcades and other such like similar gaming setups, right? So I guess I just haven't really gone to arcades, but pinball is one that let's move the ladder out of the way. Pinball is one that you don't see that often unless you go looking for it. Or, like, how do I... What I need to actually get it to is, pinball is one of those arcade games where you don't see it often unless you're at an arcade, but you can actually find such games elsewhere, right? And that sort of stands out to me. You see all sorts of... Actually, most arcade games are just video games nowadays, right? So, something about pinball has made it less commonly represented in video games. There was the old Windows or Microsoft pinball, wasn't there? So I wonder if that's why people just never really bothered with it, because it already had it had one that was free, basically, or near free, and readily available. Also, where is the dirt on this jukebox? Is it on top? You're not clean either. There we go. Is it behind? I think it was behind. But that's the walls. Okay. Let's finish off the furniture, and then it's just the ceilings and floors. Which will take a fair while, to be fair. The big surface areas are a lot easier to deal with than... I apparently cleaned the elevator platform from all the way over here. So I guess I'm getting part of the floor done as well. But yeah, big surface areas are easier to clean, but they take a while. Are these all done? No, that stool's not done, this stool's not done. What have I... Oh, I missed that side. There we go. Let's just get this corner cleared out. Because once that's clear, I can just... There we go. Let's get the long extension on so that I can stand a bit further back and still have the pressure up. And that basically means that I don't have to move as much to aim at a nice wide area. Simulates being closer without actually being there. Go, rug cleaned. Wait. Ah! Bits of that wall weren't clean. Oh god, how many columns have I missed? Why would you have a bit sticking out on the outside of the column? Like, is that a structural integrity thing, or is it just an irritating thing? God, I pronounced that weirdly. Irritating. Yeah. Need to emphasize the first syllable rather than the tate. Irritating. It's awful. Underside of this table is actually clean. I guess they decided that it's too difficult to actually get angles in there. Let's go back to Stubby so I can just get these done. Me down. I don't want to be climbing the stool. Slow but sure progress. 3/4 of the way through. Done, yes. So it's just the table here. I'll tell you this power washing is working a lot more effectively than actually power washing a table. Like it's in reality it is quicker than scrubbing it by hand, but stuff really just gets into wood and does not want to come out. You can spend a whole lot of time blasting the wood of a table to get it clean. cannot believe how amazing I can't believe how amazing the place looks, and you're not even finished. Ooh. I need help with final preparations for that job in Sector 1. I need 2 help, rather. So I've got to run, but I'll have Cloud come by to give the place a once-over when you're done. Yeah, I mean, Cloud and Barrett are both going to have to be here to get their weapons. Also, she mentioned that the friend's daughter comes around to play a lot. They've left weapons out. I feel like that's pretty bad parenting. There's no way that's just okay. Table done. What have I missed on the gun? There we go. Must have had angles on the inside. Okay, floor, ceiling, and I think that might be it after that. Let's go to long again so that I can do my long distance scouring. Oh boy. Okay. If it doesn't give me another small job after this one, we probably wouldn't have time, or we definitely would not have time for another big thing. Oh my god. Okay, that's done. Yeah, so the stream would not last long enough to finish another big job. So it's probably going to end up being that this is the last one we do, I think. We'll end a fair bit early, but it is also quite a hot day, so I'm fine with that. The computer pumps out a lot of heat. It is not fun. Also, hydration break. Everyone remember that you should hydrate as well. Water is always nice to have. I typically don't do a lot of talking, so when I'm... oh god, whipping back and forth up there. So when I stream, it can actually be a bit of a strain on my voice. Having plenty of water helps to reduce that. Just makes it a little bit easier on me. And it's also just important for your health as well, so just remember to hydrate yourselves nice and adequately. So why has it not... it's going to be little ornaments like this that have stopped it from popping up the list of things left, hey? There's going to be ceiling beam, ceiling light, ceiling shaded light. Yeah, so there's a few different items left, hey? Ceiling light holder, goodness. All sorts of things. Inside. Come on, get it. Get it done. There we go. It did not want to ping. We are at the stage of nice and methodical. Just gradually go through and clear everything out. Don't miss a spot. Really though, don't miss a spot, because if you do, you're just going to end up struggling to find it later on, and it's too small of a spot to have it show up when you do the ping search thing, but big enough that it doesn't auto-complete. Oh dear, it's going. Oh god, the blades of the fan are individual things as well, okay. It's going to take a bit of work. That, and then this is the last ceiling beam, and then the last ceiling segment, and then it can come back to the fan and the lights. Apparently that wall wasn't done. That would have been irritating. It is moments like that where I'm very thankful to the devs for splitting it all up into little pieces and having the ability to highlight pieces. If that wasn't available, it would take so much more work. Like if all of those upper sections were a single thing, you just wouldn't know where it was. Almost. There we go. Just hopefully just the fan and lights now. Left now. Though the shaded ones do not want to be finished. Is it maybe on the outside? Up on top? Oh yes. There we go. So close now. 1% left. I am concerned that it still hasn't popped up the thing to tell me what's left, because I would have thought that was it. Okay, let's have a look. Back bar cabinet light. Oh my god, that's a tiny little thing. What else is there? Bar shelf. I don't even know what's still dirty on this. There we go. Fridge. I thought the fridge was clean. I saw the doors and thought they were clean. Okay. There we go. Kitchen barrier fence. That? Okay, that's the kitchen barrier fence. And neon sign. Eggs and chips is still dirty? What? Okay. Let's get off that. Okay, there were a few things around that just had been missed, huh? I very much like that they give you that little time lapse of the process. It gives you a very clear sense of like the before and after gives quite a sense of accomplishment. Okay. Hey, Tifa told me I have to make sure you did your job. Not bad. Done a lot of cleaning as a merc. You're the real deal. I see you washed my sword too. Alright, we're done with the small talk. Got more important things to do. Oh dear God. That looks like something that will take me 2.5, 3 hours maybe. I've got 3/4 of an hour before the stream would usually end. This would take a lot. But I suppose that I don't even know if this would be the last thing. Like it only shows the things I've unlocked. So this could be the last thing, there could be another after it. I have no clue. Oh, so that's how much progress I've made through it. I'm a bit more than halfway. What is that? It's roughly 5/8. So there is probably something more after this one. I don't know if it's particularly big, it could be the last thing, but that seems like it's going to be big. We'll load in and have a look, but I don't think we'll actually do it on stream. So, hello once again. I trust you've been able to take in some of the city since we were last in touch. Sorry to pull you away from your vacation, but we have another job lined up for you. The nature of this task, however, demands a great deal more discretion than the first we had you perform. Of course, this also means you shall be compensated handsomely for your troubles. One of the specimens from Professor Hojo's laboratory escaped and made its way to the 60th floor. It was eventually captured in the Marco Energy exhibit, but it refused to go quietly, and the place is coated in a thick layer of biological ooze. While we entrusted the floor and walls to our security team, I insisted that someone with a more skilled touch handle the exhibit itself. It might not be as bad as it seems. We'll load in, have a look around. Maybe it won't be that big. It's kinda big, but it's not the worst. Sure, we can do this. Glad to have you in the Shinra building again. Yes, is that all? Even though I might not even be where I am today without the company's stunning advancements in narco harvesting technology, I have rarely visited this exhibit, and I believe I finally understand why. It forces me to come face to face with the fact that what this city has become is no longer what I hoped it would be. A terrible darkness has settled over Midgar, and who knows when it will lift. But I digress. I mean, do you really digress if you're not going to say anything else? It's not like you've gotten off topic, it's just that you're rambling. I'm going to have to go around the outside of this again from a lower angle, because I feel like there are a lot of lips that I'm not going to be catching here. Lips and edges. I'll probably go around counterclockwise as well, because when you go clockwise you catch some faces of it and not others. So what is this? Bio-residue and soot. And Marco residue. Huh, okay. For reference, for those who don't actually know this game very well, I was just checking the top left beside where it shows how cleaned something is. When you mouse over mess, it tells you what sort of mess it is. It doesn't really make much of an impact. Some stuff, like rust, requires a lot more pressure to get rid of it, but generally I don't care. Like, I usually just work with enough pressure that it would clean rust anyway. I'd just have to go over it a couple more times. Allow me to explain the general layout of Midgar. Yes, go on. Hello. As you may have noticed, it is divided into 8 sectors, each powered by its own Mako reactor, and at the very centre of the city stands the Shinra building. But as the city's design is predicated on the use of Mako, perhaps I should explain what that is first. Dude just stopped talking to me. Said he should explain something and then didn't. How rude. Oh, there's the first ding for this map. There will be many to come. I feel like each of these base wall sections is separate, so I'm missing something, and I'm hoping that it's on the inside. Sticking up that I was seeing flashing over there. I thought there was something in the distance that was flashing, even though the walls and floor are meant to have been cleaned already. God, all these little alcoves are a real pain to deal with. Cleaned. It just never ends. It keeps going round and round and round. Never clean. What? I got something over there? Okay. If any one of these base wall sections dings, it's going to be a nightmare, because that means all of them should have, and I've missed something. So long as it's only the dividers, I'm fine for the moment. Maybe there's an angle that I can only reach when I'm crouching rather than prone. Maybe. Hopefully. Just gotta make sure I keep catching all sides of it. Slowly progressing. Getting there. I don't know how far around we've come. We will eventually get back to the start though, I'm sure. It's not going to just continue forever, right? It's like it's like plugging in a USB until you've actually tried both directions. Everything is both the last and not the last section. Okay, we are back to the first section of base wall. Which means... Yes, okay. Coming at it from this side does finish it off. Ding, ding, ding. Everything dings now. Satisfaction. I'm going to end up with like one base wall that doesn't ding, and it's going to be horrifying. Trying to work out where what I've missed is. Because it'll tell me which one I've missed, but not where the filth is. And that's that. Okay. Exterior cleaned. Yeah. I think I will just stick to doing the loops. Like I'll clean off all side. No, let's focus on the outside edges. That Marco residue does need more pressure though, I think. Oh god. The sides of the stuff. There are so many little spots. Okay, so all of this is Sector 4 outskirts, huh? There we go. Okay, so I can actually break this exterior section down into nice parts as well. Marco is a substance that flows under the surface of the planet. Is that all? Our skilled engineers have learned how to convert this substance into electricity, which in turn has greatly raised the people's standard of living. I had hoped this innovation would allow Midgar to become a veritable utopia. Unfortunately, wherever there is progress, there are setbacks. And that's all he has to say about that, huh? Oh boy. Okay, so there are actually a lot more fine details than I was expecting on this, and it could take a fair while. We will see how much is manageable though. Okay, I can probably finish a good portion of this within the stream time. I might not finish all of it on stream, but a good portion. Base floor large section. Oh god, that goes in this way as well. It's just one little section that goes in, it's not a whole area. Gotta make sure I get under the edges though. Use a bit more width to speed it up. Lovely. Make sure I get the exterior of the walls. This is going to take a lot of work. If it didn't have all the little fine detail from the houses and such, or buildings, it would be a lot quicker. But as it is, there are even little cracks at the edge that are hard to get into. Probably don't need to care about the little section at the edge there. It'll finish itself off for me, I hope. There really are just a lot of little spots though. Be fine. Just about done with this. Oh dear. There, yes, okay. Oh, that could have become irritating. Actually be quicker if I just go one direction on this and then back the other, rather than turning back and forth over and over. That way I can get both sides of everything and speed up the process just a little. Yep, that worked out nicely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Going much better. Okay. I do actually recommend getting this game for yourself. There's a lot to it that I haven't shown. And mark my words, I will complete my expressway project one day, as well as the restoration of Sector 6. All I want is to make life better for everyone in Midgar, especially those in the Undercity. However, I've had to fight tooth and nail for every permit and scrap of funding. As much as it pains me to say this, I fear the rest of Shinra may view Midgar's people in a different light. I have no clue if this guy is meant to just be manipulative and sly, or actually, like, actually wanting to do good but not doing good. I should almost be all the way around, right? Feels like I've been going for a long ways. This is very much the point where I really wish I had music, but without having license-free stuff, I can't really stream it, and I do not know I don't have a quick way to find license-free stuff. I've not looked into sites that specifically offer music license-free. It's something I'll have to look into eventually, especially if I start streaming more, though I'm undecided on doing that so far. Okay, this is the last outer section. Okay. The reactors and the walls need work now, and then it'll be the interior. Oh dear God. This is a lot more work than I estimated. Like, the size isn't too bad, but there are so many little sections of it that you've got to get the angles for. Well, at least I can sort of just spray over swathes of it all at once. It's not like the motorbikes in this game, where they have all sorts of little sections that need to be cleaned but are only visible from a small angle, so you've got to track down the angle that it works from. So close to being done. What am I missing? There we go. go. Oh dear, it's coming along. It's getting there. Oh dear God. Every one of these sections is going to have little nooks and crannies that I miss because of the buildings. Oh, that one was especially rude. Glad I noticed it. But like, you can see all little gaps in the walls that do not want to come clean. Okay, we're making progress. We are. Well, that was some explosions. I assume that's something to do with the actual game of Final Fantasy. Did you hear that? It sounded like an explosion. What? Ding ding. You got anything more to say? There we go. I've just received word about complications with Reactor 1. Complications, yes. Please excuse me, but this issue requires my immediate attention. Yes, yes, go, go. This section. Where is there still more here? Ah, between the buildings. There we go. This whole mess of pipes is going to be a pain. Just nothing but pain. About the pipe hell later. god, there's still so... We've done half of this. The game says we are 84% done. I disagree. The extra trouble of getting around all the little buildings makes it feel like it's a lot more than 25%. It wouldn't even be 25, 15. Quick math. Just become clean. These little nooks and crannies. It's gonna drive me insane. Oh dear, it's never going to end, is it? Still 3 sections, including this one. It's progressing quickly enough. Maybe all the piping won't be as bad as I'm thinking, right? Maybe they just didn't make the pipes as dirty as the rest. Or they may just not have all the hard to reach angles. I'm fully aware that this is wishful thinking. Pipes will be hellish to clean. Oh, hey Morgan, hello. Why am I giant? Because this is a model of the city. Oh. So there's a whole room outside of this, and I'm just power washing the model, and it's painful. I don't know why they made a model of the city that has all these buildings. The city isn't the main focus here, right? I'm pretty sure it's the Shinra thing in the center, but they've got all sorts of buildings and structures around it. They all get in the way of the cleaning. Make sure I get the underside of this. But I can't be too far off from done, right? Only 7% left. have I missed? Okay. %. Oh, for everything to be nice and smooth like the walls. I wish I could just blast it over and have it done. But this is the last city section, and then it will just be the interior, which will be pipe hell. Ah! Oops. Coming down nice and low, there we go. All these little angles. I hate it. I love the game, but I hate just finding the little angles where it works. Like, it's so close to done, it feels like. There's only the little gaps between buildings now. Or mostly. And just have to hunt them all down. Yes! Okay. We have only the pipe hell now. Maybe the Shinra building will not be so bad as it seems. At least it's broken down into nice small pieces so I can get a lot of dings. Get the dings to feel happy. Is all in just little nooks and crannies. It's hell. Ding 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 ding. It's amazing that I can stand on some of this stuff and not have it break. But some of this is just real thin little sections of little posts like these. I can just stand on them nice and easy. Evidently I have no mass myself. That much left. I'm at 99%. Yes. Go. It's happening. It's happening. We have 4 minutes until the scheduled end of the stream. Can I actually finish it on time, or do I have to go overtime? Sector 0 spotlights times 3. Okay, this is the last thing. I actually did it. Ah. Ah. Oh, good God. That was a lot of work. It was not as big as I was expecting, but it was a lot of work. All the little narrow sections. Oh, so much work. Okay. Public security believes the incident at Reactor 1 was the work of the eco-terrorists known as Avalanche. I can't imagine why anyone would endanger the lives of their fellow citizens, least of all those who claim to respect all life. But conversely, perhaps Shinra needs to ask itself where its fault in all this lies. Forgive me, this isn't your problem. Instead, let me congratulate you on another job well done. It's always a pleasure working with you. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavours. There is more to go, but I'm not doing it. That might be the last thing, judging by the progress around the circle, the airbuster, but we're 3 minutes out from the end of the stream. Oops. Whatever. We're 3 minutes from the end of the stream, so I'm going to call it there. So, thank you all very much for being with me today. If you have enjoyed your time, aside from dropping a follow, there is also my Twitter where I make announcements about streams that are going to go live. I have a Discord server where I do the same. And I have a YouTube channel where past VODs can be found. That's because Twitch will only keep my VODs for a week, so I put them up onto YouTube to make sure that they stay up and available if they're ever wanted. That should be all the things I need to look at. So, let me have a look at raiding. Let's see if anyone else is playing PowerWash Simulator. There are plenty of people playing it. Let's see then. Well, there are a lot of people playing this. Let's just go with the one YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitch has recommended. I think. I have muted desktop audio, yes. Okay, this is someone who is playing with friends, so that will work well, I think. Gives a different view of how the game goes. So, thank you very much for being with me today. It's been a good time, even though I've been complaining and bitching about all the game. Not exclamation mark, slash raid. So, it's been a good time. Thanks for being with me today. Hope you have a good one.